So, welcome back. We're right here where we left off, with Sound of Drop. Talking about silly things together, we leave the station behind. As opposed to the station's excellent cooling system, the city streets have a peculiar humidity and heat to them that envelopes our bodies. The beginning of July, summer has only just begun, and I can already tell it is going to be a tough one. We weave our way through the crowds until we are 10 minutes away from the station, finally ending up in front of a skyscraper, the IU Mart. The building is a symbol for the people of Manton, a combined facility for commerce, what you might call a fashion building in reference to the businesses it contains. Manton is a town known as a place people go for amusement, if you really want to have a good time. They have a movie theater, arcades and several shops, though you need to have money. Really? I thought they would give the stuff free, like here. Oh, you want that new dress? You want to see that movie? You want to play at the arcade? Just do it. Because of that, young men and women are more numerous than boys and girls. In this town of people older than us, Jimeno scans the panels for each floor without fear, saying, the aquarium is... People are concentrated around the panels. Right at the top, I guess. Of little help to Jimeno and trying to take up as little space as possible, I leave the search to her and gaze up at the building. I look up and up, but the top of the building is so far, I think my neck will snap. That's magnificent. This building was built not long after I was born. It had been finished before I could walk, but the first and only time I came here was in elementary school. The instant I think back on my first visit, my head begins to hurt. Oh, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. No, I have to try not to think about it. These are things from long ago, things from the past, things that are done. I can do nothing but deal with the pain that feels as if something is pressing against the inside of my skull. I finally hear Jimeno calling me in a loud voice. The elevator is this way. Come on! I push away my headache and step through the automatic door. The information at the entrance and the placement of the crane game are exactly the same as that day, giving me a slightly bad feeling. Oh, it's intro time! Yeah! I already like the song. Oh, Mayumi Nakanoba. Jimeno Tamagawa, you will die. Sayu Sakuragi. Miko Minato. Rieko Saginoa. Kenji Hiyoshi. Mari Nakanoba. Oh, she has the same name as our protagonist. I really like the song. Okay. Okay, someone is definitely losing her mind. I can live with that. The intro kinda reminds me of Corpse Party, but with a water theme. From the style. The anime intro. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Whoosh. Right into the eye of the protagonist. Like always. A black screen. Oh. Information center. From the elevator landing, we need to head for the top floor of the separate Manton East building. The elevator is the type that has a glass window so you can see out. That is the only thing that's distracting me from my gloom. A crowd of people get on with us, but almost all of them are gone by the time we reach the floor that contains the aquarium. They probably stopped off at the apparel or sunrise shops. It isn't that we aren't interested, but Jimeno recommends. It's crowded now, so let's come back when it's less busy. And that keeps us back, deciding to stick with the plans we made back at the coffee shop. Oh, I got a bad feeling. No, the aquarium is sliding in. I guess that's the aquarium. Stepping onto our floor, the atmosphere immediately switches to a lively one. The sounds of chatter are drowned out by the roar of a large fan. The lighting is dim and tinted slightly blue. The windows are also covered, giving the feeling that it has suddenly become night. As this is an aquarium, it makes sense that the concept is based around the ocean. Yes, the pungent smell of salt is a major change. Amazing. It's like we've dived into the deep sea. That's what I thought too. Instead of being targeted at families, lately it seems more like a date spot for adults. Or at least that's what the magazine said, but it's true. Even though this is my second time coming here, it feels like the first time. Next to the entrance is a souvenir shop. Though it lacks the usual boisterous voices, it appears to be a place that can be reached both from the inside and outside, but it doesn't seem to get many customers. Just as Himeno had said, the aquarium seems to target adults. In an atmosphere like that, even Himeno looks nervous. Hey Mayu. What's up? I forgot to tell you one important thing. Himeno makes a mysterious face and brings her mouth up to my ear. What? Did you drop your wallet or something? No, that's not it. This is something that I heard that's a bit of an urban legend. They say the amount of people going missing is on the rise. There's a rumor that this month alone, the number missing is well into the double digits. Huh? We have this conversation in front of the metal rack that holds the map of the aquarium. Aside from the map, there's a guide to Menton East Building and information about affiliated hotels. During that time, we hear the sound of the elevator opening and closing, but do not see the people going into the aquarium. Menton used to be a shopping district, right? That seems to be why, even if there were a lot of runaways, the media wouldn't pay much attention. But supposedly, many of the missing persons had stopped off at Menton Aquarium. That rumor, who did you hear it from? Who indeed? No one in particular. You know how rumors spread. At Himeno's words, I feel a cold shiver along my spine. Regardless of how credible the rumor is, a sense of dread shoots through me. Considering my past, it's natural that I would feel connected to missing persons in my age range, especially if they are runaways. If that is the case, it would send chills along the back of my neck. Why on earth? You could have told me before this. Well, I thought if you heard about it, Mayu, you might not have wanted to come. Oh, so you're forgetting to tell me was a lie then, you little... I had intended to protest firmly, but it still ended rather anticlimactically. Ghosts may exist, and they still may be unable to come back, but that doesn't mean I'm interested in visiting places where they are. This is proof that Himeno has her own strange interests, yet it still makes me feel even more worried. This rumor has a continuation. Specifically, people who saw the deep-sea fish booth never came home. Himeno relays those two pieces of information that frightened me with a smile. The rumor itself aside, she wanted to pass over the question of why people were able to see the close of deep-sea fish booth in the first place, not wanting to discuss it at all. Wait a minute, Himeno. Something else tied in beneath that fear. Something about the aquarium and the missing persons who didn't come home. That was essentially the ghost. The ghost of a girl. Oh, hi there. Are you okay, Mayu? Sorry, I guess I scared you a bit too much. I think this story is pretty exaggerated, so don't worry about it. I heard it's a fun aquarium. I think we should take those stories with a grain of salt, right? Though her kindness is misdirected, it's kindness just the same. Having involuntarily sat down, I take the hand Himeno extends to me. As I slowly rise to my feet, I respond, yeah, you're right. I think that I would hear of a connection to my precious memory in a place like this. It's strange. After 5 years, the memory should have faded. I tell myself this, then let out a small sigh. Himeno is actually showing concern, so I sit down on a bench in the rest area next to the souvenir shop. Himeno even brings me a can of cocoa. As I'm drinking it, she buys our tickets. With her doing all of this, I have to go with her. Unfamiliar man. Are you okay, miss? The fact that I'm thinking thoughts like, this canned cocoa is a little weak, prove that I'm cooling down. As I'm starting to feel better, a male voice calls out to me. Ouch! While holding my half-finished cocoa, I turn in the direction the voice came from. Rather than the boy's voice I expect, it belongs to an adult, so I respond timidly. I'm okay, so... no need to be so vigilant. Oh, it's... just like this. Like this. Yeah, like this. He's wearing a grey knit cap and a brown running shirt. He's tall, even for a guy. So I have to look up at him. His build is almost all muscle and my shoulders shudder a bit in surprise. He appears well over the age of 20, so I can't think of a reason he would want to talk to us. He's wearing some accessories. Whether he realizes I'm looking up at him or not, he planks down right next to me. Even after he sits down, we aren't sitting at the same height. Pretending to fix my posture, I move away from him a little. Are you not feeling well? Give him the... let's be honest, or? I'm not. I say, as if he had flushed it out of me. Actually, it was less my physical condition and more what was on my mind, but I was hesitant to explain that to a stranger from the get-go. Guess not. Your face looks really upset. You alright? Can you get back home? Need me to take you to the station? The smile he gives me baffles me. The reason was because that smile seemed unnatural. I definitely had no recollection of him, and I've never had this much contact with a man who was not a relative. No need to worry. I work part-time in this building, so I'm familiar with Manton. Hey, what are you doing? Himeno. Oh, he looks... now this is looking like psycho here. I gasp and look up. Himeno is there carrying 2 tickets and some pamphlets. With her hands on her hips and her cheeks puffed out, Himeno glares at the man with narrowed eyes. I think the only ones allowed to hit on junior high schoolers would be high schoolers. No, I'm not trying to hit on anyone. This girl just looked unwell is all. Are you? What happened? Let's do this. Not knowing how to respond, I stay silent. On seeing that I'm troubled, he turns to Himeno, who has entered his field of vision. Upon doing so, Himeno interjects with a hey. Damn, get that girl, boy. See, you can't trust someone who just says kind things. Are you speaking from personal experience? No. What are you coming at me like that for, Mayu? Hey, mister, please don't make such a weird face. And mister? Himeno mutters, facing the man's chest. On hearing her say mister, and giving me a puzzled look, the man shows us the plastic name tag hanging from his neck. I must have forgotten to take this off. Himeno, speaking of which, he did say he works part-time in this building. Then is that his entry card or something? He slaps his knees and rises to his feet. He probably played some kind of sport or something, because the movement as he stands looks so effortless. I'm Hiyashi Kenji. I work part-time at the shop downstairs. With this entry card I can get into Manton Aquarium at a discount. Is it a company employee discount? Something like that. I'm not exactly a company employee, but I get in at half off anyway. So I come here often. Really? That's quite unexpected for you, mister. When you become older, you crave this soothing experience as well. And I'm not old enough to be a mister. Now he says it. Compared to us, you're definitely old enough to be a mister. Yoshi-san grimaces angrily, then sniffs in a self-deprecating manner. Deprecating. Like that. Deprecating. He appears to be a little older than a college student, so calling him old enough to be a mister is probably rude, but Himeno only said the impression he gave was pretty close. With the aquarium as a shared point of interest, Himeno's attitude towards Hiyoshi-san softens. As proof, Himeno talks with Hiyoshi-san about the shops in his building. I don't really know a lot about brands, so I sip my remaining cocoa and listen from the outside. My iced cocoa had become lukewarm cocoa, and I like talking about cocoa. Cocoa is the best thing. Well, mister, are you also well versed in urban legends? On hearing Himeno's question, my head pops up in surprise. Corners of Hiyoshi-san's mouth lift into a grin. That's rather unexpected for you as well. So you're interested in such things? Of course I am. You're only young once. I always have the you only live once thing. That's why I'm stuttering. So I have to satisfy your curiosity. We're looking into the closed-down deep-sea fish booth. There's a rumor that it's open on the day of the full moon. Do you know anything about it? Hiyoshi-san places his hand on his chin and looks down, grunting loudly. He glances at me, looks over at the entrance, and finally turns to Himeno and opens his mouth. I think you need to give up on that one thing. Naturally, since I'm a regular here, I often hear rumors like there are spirits floating in the tanks, or every time a person dies, the jellyfish tank increases by 1 and so on. Himeno-chan, the story you mentioned shouldn't be anything more than one of those rumors, but... Stop dancing around it, just tell me. Previously, I knew someone who went looking into this just as you girls are doing now, Himeno-chan. He went missing soon after. Missing? Without thinking about it, I joined the conversation. If someone has gone missing here at Mountain Aquarium, it holds significance for me as well. Is that for real? I glance back in surprise. Himeno is still looking at him with doubt in her eyes. Hiyoshi-san listens to what Himeno said and with a playful smile responds, "Just kidding, it's a lie." I wonder if it is a lie. He knows something. Because of the words he muttered, my curiosity has been piqued. I couldn't imagine the tense face he made as he told the story of an acquaintance who went missing being faked. That's right, but if that's the case, then this really might interest you, Mayu. I've thought from the beginning that it would be better just to give up. No way, I already bought the tickets anyway. Himeno's face shows that she's enjoying herself to the end, and she takes my arm to gently pull me closer to her. This was a signal that she was ready to go, and in my mind I prayed that nothing would happen. Well then, wanna rock around with me? Hiyoshi-san calls out to Himeno, who has said later. But it's me rather than Himeno who hears him and spins around first, so I make eye contact with Hiyoshi-san and say, I think we're passing away. That's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's surprising how quick you got into a good mood. Hiyoshi-san snaps his fingers and rushes to our side. Out. As she says this, Himeno steps in front of me and makes a big X mark with both hands. X gonna give it to you, X gonna give it to you, boys. Mario, don't be tricked by an old guy like him. He uses kind words to get close to you, but he's thinking weird things inside his mind. Himeno-chan, that's not it at all. What do you mean by weird things, Himeno? Well... Oh... He wants to take your necklace, that's all. Hiyoshi-san narrows his eyes and grins widely. He glosses over my question and asks, What, Himeno-chan? For some reason, Himeno's face goes red and she grabs me tightly by the wrist. Sexual harassment. Definitely sexual harassment, mister. Without giving Hiyoshi-san a second look, Himeno drags me to the gate. Hiyoshi-san smiles and shrugs his shoulders. Was worth a try. The aquarium entrance is so dark that we can't see in front of us until we are inside. I can feel the cold air on my skin. I get the sensation of something heavy, causing me to rub my arm. Naturally, there's no mark indicating something has touched me and, called back by Himeno's, "Hey, let's go," I pass my ticket through the machine. And I think I'm making a cut here because we're going inside the aquarium. Yes, let's make a cut here. I like the music. Alright, I hope you enjoyed so far, and I hope you can understand what I'm saying. See you in the next part of PugsyPlays. Sound of Drop. Fall into Poison. See you then.